today with Chris Floyd from Wayne County. As you guys just watched the 1998 state championship video, Chris won the heavyweight division. 1999, he's the top dog. He's got the target on his head. He's got the target on his back. Everybody wants a shot at the champ. Chris, thank you for being here with me today. I'm in Monticello. Chris was gracious enough to invite me down to his house, and I greatly appreciate being here. Going into 1999 season, you're the man. Yeah. You are the top dog of KHSAA heavyweight wrestling. Did you feel the pressure? Did you feel like I'm getting everybody, like Coach Calipari says for Kentucky basketball, we're everybody's Super Bowl, we're everybody's main event. Did you feel that?
Yeah, but Coach Upchurch, after I won my first one, he told me, he said that it's going to be harder to win the second one than it was the first.
I can see that.
And for the Summer Wrestling League, he took me and my parents took me to every tournament they could possibly get me in. I ended up wrestling 197 matches that summer. Oh my goodness
gracious. You got to think, this is 1999. We don't have tournaments popping up every week like you can, go to. So you had to probably do a lot of traveling, didn't you?
Yeah, we traveled all the way down to Florida, over to Missouri, up to Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Virginia, West Virginia.
I understand that. So, of course, like we said in the first video, 1998, Wayne County's first state finalist and first state champion. 1999 rolls around. If you haven't seen the video with Joey Stepp, after you watch this one, you need to go watch it. It's a phenomenal video. Of course, we done Joey's video. We got Joey's point of view. Before we get to your side of this, we're going to go over your bracket. As always, I've got the bracket. The first round, you wrestled Chad Murley from Louisville Seneca.
Yep.
You won that by a fall in 50 seconds. So you're here to make a statement. You are pinning your way through. The quarterfinals, you wrestled Josh McKenzie from Campbell County. You win that by a pin in 31 seconds. So you have wrestled 2 matches in less than a minute and a half of mat time. In the semifinals, you wrestled Travis McGee from Hopkinsville, Hoptown. Shout out to Hoptown and my guys doing the video, Livingston and Damien. You guys will be seeing a lot more Hopkinsville and Christian County championship videos, but this is for Chris. Travis McGee comes in third that year, so you had a pretty rough road getting from your semis to your quarters. You won a 15-11 decision. But here's what I want to talk about. You wrestle an old familiar foe from Sheldon Clark named Joey Stepp.
Yeah.
Now, kind of walk us through that senior year. You guys wrestled junior and senior. You wrestled districts and regions against each other in the championship, right?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of walk us through. In the 98 video, you said you lost to Joey. The first time you beat him was in the regions of 1998.
Yep.
Walk us through. I know Jim Matney, Danny Upchurch would go to the same tournament. Did you wrestle Joey that 1999 year outside of postseason?
Well, we thought we was going. I thought we was going to meet up at the state duels that year, but we ended up not wrestling. But we went to Sheldon Clark the week before districts to do duels, and we wrestled there. We wrestled that week. We wrestled at districts the next week, region the week after that, and then state the week after that.
So you wrestled him 4 weekends in a row.
Yeah. Your
district. Do you remember how the district championship against Joey, how that turned out?
Yeah, the first period it was at the end of the first period it was 0-0, and Coach Upchurch was not happy. He was not happy, and he just told me take neutral. The first time he had ever told me to take neutral on my decision, and He just told me straight up. He said, pin him. And about a minute and 12 seconds into it, I got lucky. I caught him in a tomahawk, and that was it. I mean, it was. I think I probably shocked him more than I shocked myself.
So, all right, you win the district. Now, those that aren't familiar with Kentucky wrestling, up until the 2001-2002 season, Kentucky had districts, then regions, and KHSAA realigned the regions, so the districts went away. So we had, just like basketball, just like other sports, soccer, volleyball, you had districts, regions. If you're not familiar with the geography of Kentucky, you had Wayne County, which is on the Tennessee border, and you had Sheldon Clark, which borders West Virginia, in the same district. That was the largest geographical district in the entire state. And you guys are 3 hours apart, but you're rivals. I mean, you are district, region, state rivals. You know what each other does. You've seen each other 1,000 times.
Oh, yeah.
So we go to the regional tournament your senior year. Kind of talk us through your match against Joey on that one.
It actually went the full 6 minutes. I forget what the score was, but in the third period, I got lucky, and he went to go stand up, and I caught him in a cradle, but time ran out, and I couldn't get the fall, but I don't think I would have pinned him. My grip was already breaking loose, and
now, if you haven't seen Joey's video, Joey goes on to play college football at Marshall. He plays with some big names. Byron Leftwich, you got to watch his video, but he's in the ESPN top, I think it's 100 moments of the last 100 years of football, something to that effect, where Byron Leftwich breaks his leg. Joey and another lineman are carrying him to the next play. So Joey is an athlete. You're an athlete. You guys are, it could have been the headline of UFC pay-per-view. It could have been on, if it was on track nowadays, you had to pay extra on top of the flow fee to watch it. So we get to the state tournament. We go through your bracket. You know Joey's on the other side. You probably know you're going to be wrestling him in the championship.
Oh, yeah. I had no doubt.
And I think off camera, it may be in the video. I've done so many. I don't recall. But I think Joey said the exact same thing, that he knew it was going to be you and him.
Yeah.
When you guys weighed in on that Friday morning, he knew it was going to be you and him the last bout Saturday night.
Yep.
You just knew it. So you get to the finals. You know it's Joey. Walk us through your mindset of, I've wrestled him 4 straight weekends. I've won 3 of the 4, won the 3 so far. Walk us through what your game plan is.
Buddy of mine on the team actually overheard Coach and my dad talking, and came running to me and told me I had to pin Joey. So at the beginning of the season, we wrote on a chalkboard what we wanted to accomplish as the team. Mm-hmm. And the number one thing was to bring home a state trophy. And
now, is that a team title?
Team.
Okay.
Well, it was the first year that they was actually giving 4 trophies for 4th place.
Okay.
And
I got you.
We knew we weren't touching Wooford that year. And we were pushing for 4th place. And going into mine and Joey Stepp match, we were losing, we were in 5th place and behind the 4th place by 1 point.
Oh my.
And the pin would have gave us the 2 points, extra points, and would have put us in 4th. And so when Coach found out that buddy of mine told me that, I was down in the mat warm-up area running around, wrestling around with Floyd Sparks, and he came down there and told me, he said, don't worry about the pin. He said, just go out there, win your 2nd title, and don't worry about it. But that wasn't me. And for the first 2 rounds, I done everything that I could possibly do. Because I knew I wasn't holding him down, and I knew I wasn't taking him to his back unless I threw him to his back. Yeah. And I done everything I could possibly do.
That's one thing Joey does say in his video. You got to go. These are such a perfect pair. I'm so glad that you agreed to do this. Is that Joey knew nobody could hold him down. He knew when he was on bottom, there was nobody that could hold him down. He could get a stand up anytime he wanted. You were talking about the winning the team, the 4th place trophies. This is the Sunday after the 2022 state championship, KHSAA state championship at George Rogers Clark High School. Of course, Union County won it, but the battle was between 2nd and 3rd, between Johnson Central and Ryle. Johnson Central ended up coming in runner-up. They beat Ryle by half a point.
Yeah.
138.5 to 138 was the score. It was half a point. So if you are new to wrestling, you're watching this, your team is trying to compete, you need to get as many team points as you possibly can, because you don't want to miss out on getting a state trophy, what place it is, by half a point. Just something to keep in the back of your mind for people that are in the sport. Joey tells the story that going in, let me go back. Joey said that the district and regions, he didn't care about it, but his goal was a way to figure out how to beat you for the state championship. And we're going to watch it, but I know you had to have some notion of what he was going to do, but did you look at the duel that you had, the district and regions? Was that like game planning, or was that just another match, or was you looking that far ahead to this is how we wrestling the state championship?
No, I took it 1 week at a time. And the thing is going into my senior year, I knew, and I don't want to sound conceited,
Right.
but I knew there was only one person in the state that I had to worry about, and that was Joey Stepp. And that was all I trained for that year.
I understand.
Because I did not fear anybody else in the state even touching me. And I got a big surprise with Travis McGee that year. Yeah. I'd never wrestled him before.
15-11 decision.
Yeah, that was a battle.
Enough of us talking about it. Let's watch it.
All righty.
You guys saw Chris's 1998 championship medal and his championship ring. This is his 1999 state heavyweight championship medal. Now, you said off camera you got a funny story about your 1999.
Yeah.
I've not heard it, so hit us with it.
I was on my way, of course, with Joey's video, I had kidney issues. Mm-hmm. I was on my way to Louisville one day to get evaluated for a transplant. And on the way back, the vehicle blew a seal on the transmission.
Oh my.
So I took my class ring and my state championship ring off, laid them on the back bumper while I crawled under there to find out what was wrong. And it was pouring the transmission fluid. And I was frustrated, I was upset, and when I came out, I just slammed, kicked the car, slammed the door, got in, and just toof.
Oh, my.
And so my state championship ring is somewhere on Cumberland Parkway.
Oh. Well, if you find it, please return to sender. If you find a 1999 Wayne County Heavyweight State Championship ring, and a class ring for that matter, please, making a plea to you, get it back to its rightful owner, Chris Floyd.
Yeah.
You guys are seeing what we're seeing. We're at the Farnham Dungeon Center, Frankfort, a cold February evening, 1999, but the electricity inside this building, if you were there, you know what I'm talking about. The atmosphere at the dungeon is absolutely the best high school atmosphere of any sport that I've ever seen on YouTube, been a part of. I've been to a lot of events from professional, college, high school.
They've done it up good.
The Dungeon State Finals is, without a doubt, the most just electric, energy-filled environment you'll ever be a part of. Let's check it out. Let's do this.
Still give you goosebumps just watching it.
Oh, yeah. So we lock up here. You're in the red singlet, the full red singlet.
Yep.
Now, when we done Joey's video, he had never watched it. And like I said, you got to go back and watch it. I'm so grateful that Chris invited me down to get the opinion on, or his view on it. It's because to get both, this is such a great match. You lock up with him. What are you thinking? Ride this out, let him mess up. I gotta try for a throw. What are we doing here?
The only thing I was thinking, like I told you before, for the first two periods, I just knew I had to throw him to his back to pin him, and that's all I cared about. I wasn't worrying about scoring points. If you watch, I'm just trying to pop him up so I can throw him to his back, and that's it.
There it is. You got your 2. You got 2 takedown. You're on the edge here.
Yeah,
Right,
trying
we're
to
out.
keep it in and. Coach is telling me right here to watch for the cradle because I caught it on him at region and he just never opened it up.
Now, Wayne County had 3 in the finals that year. Phillip Rose 145, Lloyd Sparks 215, and you, Sheldon Clark, had Josh Stepp at 152, and of course Joey at 140 heavyweight. So you guys are so far apart, district rivals, but your teams were both. Sheldon Clark and Wayne County in the 90s, late 90s especially. You know, they were. You didn't want to wrestle them. You did not want to duel them. You didn't want to see them in a tournament. Get down here. If you felt Joey coming up, we're just gonna cut him. It's like, hey, I ain't trying to, you know, let him get a switch on me because right there he's reaching for it.
I was trying to hit the pop over there while we were going across the mat. But
Those red singlets are sharp. There he goes.
it was so hard to keep him down.
Oh, yeah.
So hard.
There he goes, trying to slide out of bounds. Into the period. With the flip. Okay, you defer. Was that a DU decision?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's taking
We
down.
always look to DU if we won the toss.
I understand that. So it's 2-0, start of the second period. There we go. There you go. You just cut him.
Yeah.
Smart. 2-1.
And like I said, all I was worried about was trying to throw him to his back.
Do you remember your record going into this year? What it?
My record going into this match was 49-1.
49-1.
The one loss came from Scott Wells down in Tennessee. And it was, he hyperextended my elbow the week before we wrestled Wolford County, and Coach called the match.
I got you.
But at the time I wrestled Scott Wells, he was like number 12 in the nation.
Oh my goodness.
He was a brute.
That's something that I think just about everybody I've got to show their old videos to, either off camera or on camera. They've said kids nowadays probably better like actual technical wrestlers, but back in this era, you guys were men. Stronger, meaner, tougher. I'm going to try to rip your head off instead of trying to hit some big fancy move, and that it shows. There we go. Got the... Nope. Joey's too strong.
He broke the bear hug.
So... Going. Trying to pull it down. Okay, boom, hit for stalling. Can't say I disagree with it. Of course, Joey's been hit too. Both of you guys get hit in the second period. There you go, trying for those double. There you go, trying for that bump.
Yep.
Let's see. All right, end of the period. So it's 2-1. You're up 1 point. Both have been hit for stalling. Oh, you're fine. It's all right. So it's your choice. You're going to take down.
Just like last year, the reverse switch was my move.
Now, when Joey is on top here, can you, like, was he the strongest guy you wrestled all year?
Yeah.
Or just knew?
He was the strongest guy I wrestled, and the fact that he knew every one of my moves.
Right. Okay, you get your one.
No.
Yeah, he gives you one. We're neutral. So it's 3-1. What are we doing here?
Got a little too close and headbutted.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, just trying to get a throw in on him.
Got the whizzer in. Nothing. We're out. We're neutral.
Yep.
3-1. 1:24 seconds left. So you can hear your fans. Let's go, Chris. Let's go. So I guess Wayne County brought a much bigger contingent this year. Of course, you guys had 3 in the finals, and you're the defending state champion. Oh.
Like I said, all I was trying to do was throw him to his back. Because
There we go. We're out. We're still neutral. Right here, are you just wore out?
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah.
I totally understand. I get it. Trust me.
I exerted pretty much all of my energy there in the first 2 rounds.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shoots in.
Yep.
Uh-oh, boom. Joey gets his 2. Now, I'm going to pause it here when it gets to the time of it. Right here, referee blows a whistle. You roll over, and then the referee signals injury time.
Yep.
So I got to ask you, because Joey didn't remember, what was going on here?
I was ready to puke. I ain't gonna lie. When Joey hit that single leg, he clipped the private area just enough to where I could get the injury time out.
I got you.
And when Coach came over there to see what was wrong, I told him, I said, Coach, I'm about to puke. I am about to puke. And he just told me, he said, just take the full time.
So you did take the full injury time?
It was.
And that was not an intentional shot to the groin.
No, it was.
It was just wrestling, right?
Yeah. It was he barely even clipped. It was just enough to where I could tell the ref, oh.
Yeah. So, and men, if you know, sometimes the slightest bit of contact has the biggest, I need to break. So, but that is because, like I said, people that I've showed this to without a video, just people that knew the sport or remember this match, they knew you took injury time. Joey didn't remember, but I'm glad now we get the full story on it. And sometimes you gotta,
Yeah, I had to catch my breath.
I understand.
I exerted too much energy there in the first 2 rounds, and that's when Coach told me again. He said, "Don't worry about the pin, just get the win."
I got you. Now, the edited or the version here that I've got from the archive, it doesn't show the injury time, so I had no idea of knowing, but thanks to Chris for telling us the story. So we're going to continue here. And it should cut right back into the match here just in a second. There we go. So we got 36 seconds left, 3-3. He gives you your 1, so it's now 4-3.
Yep.
Both of you guys have a stalling call, not a penalty point yet.
Yeah.
More slap dab out.
Yeah.
Which it looks like both of you guys are. I'm not just saying, you are, but you can tell Joey, both you guys are still wrestling hard. Now, boom, he gets you for stalling, gives Joey a stall point, so now we're tied 4-4.
Yeah. And I ain't going to lie.
19 seconds left in the match.
I seen the time and I was just in survival mode. I ain't going to lie about it.
So stall red, referee goes to table 1 green. Back on the lines here. Kind of pushing the pace. Trying to lock up here. Bump. Joey kind of backs up a little bit. The referee stops it. Hits him for a stall. Gives you 1 point. Now we're 5-4. You're up. Joey shoots, and that's the match. 2-time state champion, heavyweight. You defended your crown.
Not the way I want it to win.
I understand that, and like I said, you said that it wasn't an intentional shot to the private area, but
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was, and I just knew it was a good enough reason to get an injury timeout.
Again, I can't tell you how thankful I am that you invited me down and went over this one specifically. But when I got the 98 foul, I sent it to you, a little clip of it, and then I sent you like the full video of this so you could watch it just for the memories. But this match has such a aura about it. Just people that were there, the history that you guys have. And Joey tells the story in his video, and you can tell your side of it if you'd like, that a few years ago, Joey reached out and was like, hey, let's, Batman needed Joker. You needed somebody to compete against at your level. Joey needed somebody that he's like, I can beat this guy. You guys made each other better. I have to imagine, knowing at the beginning of the year that the final championship match is going to be you and him. And like I said, if you want to tell, how Joey reached out.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is when Joey was over here and when we actually talked about it, he told me that he talked to a few people to see if they knew me. Mm-hmm. And I would go to Walmart and I'd have different people come up to me and go, one of the guys you wrestled with is looking for you. I said, that I wrestled with? And they said, yeah. He said he wrestled with you. And I was like, well, every one of the wrestlers know where I live. So why are they looking for me? And I didn't think about an opponent.
I got you.
It being Joey was the furthest thing from my mind, because I mean, like he said and like you said, we had a hard, tough rivalry. Like it was brutal every time we got on the mat. And I remember one time when me and Joey was at the tournament, and it was I forget where it was. It was during the summer one time, and we ended up wrestling each other. And when people found out down there at that tournament that we were like state rivals, like there was a crowd around our mat down there, and it was just weird. It was like, because I never noticed that. I'd never been in anything like that before. And, but yeah, when Joey reached out to me, we talked, and like I said in the comment on the video, I wish that I was a better person back then in high school.
Well, we all do. Everybody does.
I had so much, I don't want to say anger, but I was more angry at myself, because for 3 years, I was scared to death to wrestle Joey Stepp. I was. And that week, like I told you, when my dad made me watch film, he wanted me to tell him why Joey Stepp was beating me. why I could not beat Joey Stepp, why it was always 1-2 points, and I would be leading with like 10 seconds left to go. Joey would get an inside step on me, take me down, and beat me by 1 point. And all my dad was wanting me to confront with was that I was scared of him. And like I said, going into regionals my junior year, I ended up beating him 18-12 that year. And I remember it vividly because it was the first time I ever beat the man. And like I said, my senior year, I knew that was the only guy that could take the title from me. And as bad as it sounds, I mean, he didn't, but the controversial call there at the end, I understand it being painful for Joey. I mean, it honestly was painful for me because even though I won, I didn't want to win that way.
Mm-hmm.
I figured, and because I don't think Joey was stalling. I honestly, he had double overhooks, and I was pumping him up, and he was just trying to not let me get the bear hug in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just defense,
Yeah.
And and one thing, like I said, the character on Joey is amazing. Because I remember the podium, that during the podium ceremony our senior year, Sheldon Clark crowd was right there behind it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And when they called my name to get my medal and everything, Sheldon Clark crowd started booing. And Joey turned around and yelled at him, told him to shut up. He earned it. Yeah. And that right there, and then Joey reaching out, the character on that man is amazing. Yeah. He is a real good dude.
And Joey and the character, comes what he does now. He is he's a guidance counselor at a middle school in West Virginia. If I had kids and they needed a guidance counselor, I would take them independently to Joey just because he's that type of a guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
So we're going to put a bow on this one. Chris, thank you for having me down, man. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you for wanting. Thank you for doing all this.
Yeah.
This is amazing. I watch a lot of them, and it brings back memories. Like when I watched Livingston Merritt's video, it was awesome because I was right there watching it.
Do you remember the backflip?
Yes, I do, because the entire crowd went nuts.
Like his wrestlers done behind him. Yeah, that was. There's a reason why I won that team, because I knew that would be I knew the kids would love it. I knew their reaction would be. I've got a lot more Wayne County wrestlers to film. I got a lot more videos sent to me. This is number 13 in the series. I've probably got about 50, and I'm not even exaggerating that number, lined up to film. The playlist is going to continue to grow. I can't tell you guys how grateful I am, and the guys doing the videos with me, and people that have reached out, how grateful I am that you're putting your trust in me to tell your story. That's what I'm doing. This is for these guys to tell their stories. I'm just giving them the platform to do it, because Kentucky wrestling for so long has not been celebrated. You can't find anything on it. Every now and then you can find a snippet of on YouTube, something that's not on my channel. But the deep history, the deep rich history that Kentucky wrestling has, if you wasn't in the building, then if you or family or went to school with somebody, chances are you need to get to see them wrestle. And that's what I want to do, is let the masses see, hey, we got some good wrestling in Kentucky. We got some good stories to tell. We got some good teams to celebrate. We got some amazing stories like this to let the world. I mean, this could be an ESPN 30 for 30. This could be I'm serious, the history you guys had. ESPN, if you're watching, get up with me. I'll get you these guys' contact information. We can do a 30 for 30. I'd love to, spearhead that, or some type of, if somebody wants to put together a documentary on these guys' rivalry, I'd love to help you out with that. That's all we got for this one. Again, thanks to Chris Floyd for having me down to Wayne County and Monticello for doing his 2 championship videos. Until then, we'll see you guys on the mats.
See ya.
Joey Stepp, over my junior and senior years, was the best wrestler I wrestled here in the state of Kentucky. And that's partly because over the course of 4 years of our high school years, we wrestled each other so many times. I knew what he was doing. He knew what I was trying for. And it was boiling down to whoever scored last. And it happened that way many times. The thing about wrestling, and this is for all the young people that's watching and the beginning wrestlers and even, middle school, high school wrestlers. Yes, when you're competing, you want to leave it all on the mat. Every sweat, tear, blood, frustration, anger, and even rivalries. All of that need to stay on the mat. The thing that I regret is not getting to know Joey Stepp for who he was as a person off the mat. And I think if I could have done that back then, we could have had an incredible friendship for nearly 20 years, I think. And the thing is wrestling is such a small world. It really is. I know the world seems big, but the sport of wrestling is a small world, and it's growing every day. And we already have enough anger, hate in this world to have it in the sport of wrestling. Everything needs to be left on the mat, especially the rivalry and the anger towards another wrestler. There's no room for it. So that's the one thing I wish and I hope the young wrestlers and all wrestlers in elementary and high school and junior high and even in college takes from this video is leave it all on the mat. Get to know your fellow wrestlers for who they are and not as your rival. The rivalry is on the mat. It's not out in the real world. The rivalry is on the mat, and that's where it should stay. So I hope that's what the young people take from this video when they watch it.